What is this shit right here? There's something in the fog that I can't explain.
An 18-year-old British student, George Smythe, has vanished after entering the area surrounding Romania's famed Dracula's castle.
That the partial takeover of the United States is already complete.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you watching on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. Oh yeah, and don't forget to hype the video. I'll be forgetting to let y'all know. But I did have to go ahead and give a shout out to Maurice. They also call him Jack. Your fiance, bro, asked me to go ahead and shout you out. Shout out to Hillary Brooke as well. I also got to give a shout out to Freddie Khalil, to the homie Freddie Khalil. Shout out to Dubai. I seen you been rocking with me since like a long time, bro. I be trying to go ahead and shout out all the day ones also, because like I don't know if y'all know, but like I really appreciate it. Like I really appreciate all this love and support y'all been showing. All the way y'all been rocking with me from when I didn't know how to do what I'm doing to I'm figuring it out to where I've gotten. Appreciate it, man. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that's a little bit weird. What y'all think?
Look behind you. Insane. Whoa, did you see that just shoot across? Did anyone else see that? Look behind you. Insane. Whoa, did you see that just shoot across? Did anyone?
Why are people in Northern California questioning the fog?
Trying to get
Take a look at this video.
Because can you see that? Does that look like fog? That's all I see at night is just that floating around. Doesn't look like normal.
And I really don't give a nobody say. If y'all think that thick ass fog that's over California right now, that shit they calling radiation fog is normal, boy, your ass got another thing coming, bro. That shit causing all type of respiratory issues, all type of shit. It's affecting over 13 million residents, bro. It's affecting your drive, bro. Fog usually don't stay that long. And if you see fog, you will see glimpses of it while you driving and some shit. Bro, this fog, this shit on the ground. This shit walking amongst y'all, bro. And y'all think that shit normal, bro? It's causing people to get sick. Come on, man. They say this shit got, they say this shit got a smell and a taste to it. What? They say it's annual. It's annual. Man, I seen a bunch of videos of saying that, bro, I ain't never seen it like this. Okay, we get fog. Hey, who don't get fog? But they say they ain't never seen it like this. Bro, if y'all want to come in that bitch, it's an annual thing. We go through it all the time. Stop it, bro.
I actually grew up in Northern California, and I do remember it being foggy, but never to a point where people were complaining about it. So, for those in Northern California, let us know in the comments about this fog, and are people actually getting sick from it? And where does the radiation come in? Why would there be radiation within the fog? This I don't understand. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. This is Unanswered Universe.
Take it from me, y'all. This shit ain't normal.
But when they say there's shit in this fog, and I just been driving regularly, what is this shit right here? There's something in the fog that I can't explain, but I ain't drove to nothing but fog. And look at this shit. Check y'all shit, y'all. Crazy. Look. It's on that, but not on my windshield. What's going on? Ooh, they got in the air. That's crazy.
He said it, I didn't. It's for entertainment. Why is it so strict out there? Why was there so many military vehicles on that highway in front of the soccer game? Like as if they were watching the game, like watching them like survey and make sure things was going in order. Not like just watching the game for entertainment or nothing. And why is it wrong to record anything there? Where are the people? Like, I got so many questions. Every time we see people secretly film out there, it blows my mind of how strict it is. And I don't get it. I don't get it. If y'all got any answers, spam it up, please.
What the f***'s that? Is that meant to be an eagle? You can't convince me that there isn't a man standing in that costume. That's got to be someone inside that costume. That's a costume. That's not an eagle. Why is it looking at me like...
Too damn big, bro. Imagine him hawking your ass down.
I don't know if y'all seen the video or what, but in Times Square, as a taxi driver was driving, the street collapsed. The street collapsed as the taxi driver was driving. I mean, you know how you're driving in the streets? Underneath the white lines, that shit, it cracked. Everything cracked open in a square formation. Like everything cracked open in a square formation. I'm talking about you driving your car, and you literally about to drive and go right in the hole of that square box. Luckily, you had people telling him to back out. See, we are seeing the destruction. We ain't never seen shit like this happen before. But we starting to see the destruction accumulating. We're starting to see little glimpses and little mimics of what's going to happen in NYC. While everybody think everything is a game and a joke, the glimpses of what is going to occur and what is going to happen, the destruction that is coming, that is awaiting, soon will hit New York.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around what we're seeing. It's almost like the Matrix is just collapsing and folding up on us. It almost looked like part of an actual stage was like there was a hole in it and we got to see it somewhat. You get what I mean? Like I don't know if that's even a reach. Yeah, I don't know. If that's a reach, man, go ahead, I'll take it. But that's what it looked like to me. What did it look like to y'all? It looked like that was damn near a fake ass street and there was a hole in it and we finally got to see what's really... I don't know. I don't even want to sound crazy for saying what I was saying.
Color is blood? It's red. What color is it like in your body? I don't know. Oh, you never got taught this, huh? No. What do you assume it is? Red. Red, right? Yeah. But why is you never heard like blood is blue because look at your veins? Oh, I have heard. Because look at your veins, it's blue, right? As a kid, I heard this from everybody, even teachers, fam. And I talked to other people, they all told me the same thing. Everybody used to say this shit. Yeah. That blood is blue until it hits oxygen. And that's why your veins are blue, is because it's still blue inside of you. It didn't touch oxygen yet.
But I think it is blue, right? Because the nervous system models in science class, it's not red.
So that's a Mandela effect.
It's blue.
It was never blue. What? Somebody started sharing the wrong information for no reason. Yeah.
I know this about to cause a lot of controversy in the comments.
That fog is so thick that's covering California that these birds don't know where the f to go. Look at all these birds. They supposed to be flying south for the winter. They still stuck in Northern California. Like, what the f is really in that fog that got these birds acting like this?
This shit is, it's not fog, bro.
An 18-year-old British student, George Smythe, has vanished after entering the area surrounding Romania's famed Dracula's castle. George left the resort town of Poiana Brașov on the 23rd of November 2025, planning to hike alone toward Bran Castle in the Busegi Mountains. That evening, he called Romania's emergency hotline asking for help. He said he was exhausted, freezing, and had been forced to step inside the castle grounds to rest for a moment. It was the last time anyone heard from him.
This is a real headline. This is not fake. A teenager actually tried to hike through the Romanian mountains to Dracula's castle by himself in the middle of winter. I'm starting to think that some people's free will needs to be revoked at this point. Because why would anyone think that's a good idea? And guess what? He's still missing. When emergency responders went to the location of the call, they found his belongings, but not him. That's creepy as shit. That's not helping with the whole vampire narrative. I really hope this kid isn't dead, but every day that passes and they don't find him, it just looks worse and worse. The case is still ongoing though, so we just gotta keep waiting. And I'm seeing way too many people saying, ooh, vampires did this. He was taken by vampires. Guys, it's Romania in the middle of winter. He was probably either attacked by wolves or bears or froze to death. But what if?
Prayers, man. My only question is, why would you be there?
It blows my mind that Stranger Things is ending, and so many people still don't know that almost everything in this show is based on real life events. This is all 6 examples. The first and maybe main example is the Montauk Project. Montauk Project facility is essentially exactly what was the inspiration for Hawkins' lab. This is the show, this is real life, this was a secret government project that was dedicated to human experimentation. Predominantly experimenting in psychological warfare tactics, you see the resemblance. Number 2 is pretty disturbed. This is MK Ultra. This man here is Sidney Gottlieb. He is the direct one-to-one inspiration of Martin Brenner from Stranger Things. MK Ultra was an illegal human experimentation organization set up in the 50s that a lot of Stranger Things has taken inspiration from. Their whole goal was to use torture methods to eventually develop mind control. And it was also a secret, brutal attempt to harness psychokinetic power. Number 3 is the woman who essentially Eleven is based on, Nila Kulagina. Like I said, Nina was the inspiration for this character, and almost everything she does is based off Nina. Nina was a Russian woman that was experimented on brutally to harness her psychokinesis abilities. It was reported that just like Eleven in the show, things around her would shake and move when she got angry. Number 4 is the real life Upside Down. This all comes from a phenomenon that happened a while ago where there was flashing red lights in the ocean over the Pacific, which looks very similar to the portals in the show. Specifically the fact that they actually had an underwater upside down portal that looked identical. Number 5 is the unidentified Amarillo Project. These photos right here were captured from the Amarillo Project. And many people believe this is actually the exact design that the Demogorgon is based off, because this was an unidentified creature that was caught on CCTV. And number 6, going back to Montauk, was the Montauk Monster. This creature sighting happened in the exact same area as the original Montauk Project, and turned out again to be an unidentified creature that was related to experimentation facilities.
This is for entertainment purposes, and whoa, that was not true.
Well, breaking news. If the text above me is blue, this is my backup page. This is my only fucking backup page. Do you hear me? This is my backup page. This is information that is not geopolitical, mainstream political news, or anything that you probably really imperatively need to know, but it's information on the sidebar of what's going on in our current administration and across the globe. So, a wolf was caught on camera displaying never before seen behavior as it uses tools. A wolf was caught on camera displaying behavior never seen before in wild canines. Members of the dog family, as it appeared to use tools to gather food. The animal was observed in an indigenous nation territory on the central coast of the British Columbia, swimming out to a buoy marker, dragging it back to land, and then reeling in an attached crab trap and eating the contents. Researchers from the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry, which published the study, said that while wolves have been seen interacting with human objects before, this enterprise was far more sophisticated than anything previously recorded. So what they're talking about is the fact that the wolf swam out to the buoy, brought the buoy on land, then grabbed the rope and then pulled the crab trap in, knowing that there is, like, it utilized the tools, knowing what was in there, and it was unseen before behaviors in wolf. I'll keep you updated with more.
Hey, I gotta see this, bro. I'm gonna search for that.
Here's the thing, you know what's crazy about
I love when y'all send me clips after I just said I'm gonna go try to find it, and it's like right back to back. I appreciate y'all collective every time y'all do that, man. I never really say that enough. I've said it before, but I don't say it enough. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that for real.
China, there's not even 2 billion people in China. We all think China has 2 billion people, right?
That's what they always claim.
That's what they claim.
Right.
Here's 2 things. How is it that when the CCP took over in the 50s and they had that one birth rate, singular kid, how is it that their population grew since then? Does that make sense?
I see your point.
2, a Chinese national just came out and said there's not 2 billion people in China. She says there's probably closer to 500 million.
That's it?
That's it. Yes. She said they're lying because it's propaganda. They want to seem bigger than what they are. How do you surveil 2 billion people? Isn't 500 million way more manageable? And it's a lot of land, so that's the thing. And they have ghost towns over there. Right now, they built tons of like skyscrapers and all this other stuff. They were expecting all these people, but I think they did that by design. It's really not that many people over there.
Wow, 500.
We have what, 300 here? 350?
Yeah, 350 here.
That's not much bigger than us.
I have a few Chinese friends, and the ones that come from small towns are small towns. So I don't know about the 2 billion.
I mean, that's what they always claim. So I was leaning on that.
How is that possible if they only had the one child rule for 50 plus years?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So they're lying. So that's the thing. So it's much more manageable. So that's why they have the social credit score system right now. Like if you have a low score and you're hanging out with somebody else, your score drops. And then like if your score is too low, you can't ride the train. You can't get something to eat. There's videos where there's like, you see it on a board.
So you starve?
Yes. There's people starving in the streets right now.
Okay, how do you get a good score? What does a good score mean?
They're saying basically if you do good deeds, if you help the government.
If you do good deeds?
Yes.
Shit, this is Black Mirror.
You haven't seen Black Mirror?
Seen Black Mirror.
There's an episode where a girl is trying to like be a good Samaritan in society and it builds up her score. That's literally what's happening right now.
And that came out like 5 years ago.
You can't buy food.
No, you can't ride the train.
So you die.
Yeah. There's videos of people dying in the street right now in China because they have the lowest credit score. The shit is crazy. It's wild.
Man, ain't no damn way you kicking it with us.
What in the hell do these people do for a living? I mean, really? What in the hell do you do for a living? Where you work? You work several part-time jobs? You work overtime?
Crazy thing is, she got it all wrong. You know damn well they some powerful people. They probably don't do shit at all, but got a generational wealth, like inherited, and they gonna drop it down to their youth. But the clip before that, bro, I mean, damn, kicking it with somebody who got a low credit, social credit score can drop your shit. Damn, bro. Let's not let America hear no shit like that. They probably already up to that. I think they are. What y'all think?
What up, everybody? It's Angel Dust. So I'm going to go deeper with this demon that we worship at Christmas time, and I'm going to share some more stuff with you guys about how this all works and what it is. This is Krampus. 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 This is a portrait I did of a family member when I was a kid because I was obsessed with her. This is Krampus. This is Krampus. Some kind of black demon representation of Krampus. For anybody who knows anything, this is Binky. That is Krampus. This is a representation of the Shadow Man. So what is this elite obsession with the darkness? What is this elite obsession with this strange demon creature? I get asked it all the time. I get called a Satan worshiper all the time. The truth is, we're just not afraid to delve into the darkness. We don't fear the darkness because we have an education. I was raised with stories pertaining to my family's involvement with Aleister Crowley, the Boleskine House, the rituals that happened, the demons that were summoned. I am directly correlated in a family story to a demon that was summoned in a really alarming and freaky way. Disturbing? Sure. Life-changingly disturbing? Not really. You can see in many different representations of this creature that it is representing some kind of dark being or some kind of dark spirit. What's super important for people to understand is that there is power in the darkness. There is knowledge in the darkness. Do not fear the darkness. Peace, blessings, and shine on.
What's your thoughts? Respectfully, what's everybody's thoughts?
Do you believe that heaven can send animal creature critters as a sign from a loved one who's passed on? Or do you think that's just the narrative of the mainstream media? Because last week in the Montana, a man named Stanley Oberle, who was just a cowboy through and through, was missing his wife who had died of a fatality death the year before. And he said he was driving on the freeway and he was gonna cry. And he's like, if I cried and the boys saw it, they would make fun of me, but I missed her so badly. And so he said, please God, send me something so I don't cry. Well, his wife's favorite bird was the bald eagle, and her favorite song was the Pledge of Allegiance. And so he said right when it happened, two things happened. One, the Pledge of Allegiance came on the radio, and then all these bald eagles, he said, swarmed down, like all of these at once, and landed around his car, to the point you can see here is the drivers couldn't drive anymore because they didn't want to run over the bald eagles. And so you just think this is a coincidence, sir, or do you think that his wife sent him these birds from heaven?
I mean, I don't believe in coincidences, so.
I think we need to take this shit very serious, and I think Donald Trump needs to take this shit very serious. And not to mention, New York is getting a Islamic mayor this January. Listen to this scary, weird-ass video that I hope is fake.
Bali Man goes on camera and he claims in a very chilling way that the partial takeover of the United States is already complete. And now they're moving on to phase 2, a total takeover of America. He says his only regret in this whole process is that President Trump may not live long enough to actually see it happen. But he says, don't worry, Trump's children will witness the dark day in history. If that doesn't chill you to the bone, this will. A woman who actually grew up in an Islamic household is now warning Americans that we are on a dangerous path if we keep allowing these people who hate this country to stay here. Like this video, so this warning reaches as many people as...
I'm scared as shit, bro. To be honest with you, especially in New York.
What if the people who run the country hate the people here too? I'm talking about everybody. I don't give a damn what you look like, what skin tone you is. I don't care about none of that. If your ass is an everyday working person, I feel like that's the case. But then again, this is all for entertainment, and what I said is not true.
Well, y'all, it looks like the shutdown is here. Let's talk about what that means. So as of tonight, Congress has failed to pass a new federal budget, and the White House Office of Management Budget, OMB, that's what you've heard me call it, has ordered all agencies to begin official shutdown procedures. Now, this means unless lawmakers return and agree on a new funding bill, Before midnight tonight, then the United States government will partially shut down at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what we're looking at is about maybe 3 hours from now, 2.5, maybe 3 hours from now. So the Senate actually rejected a temporary funding bill, H.R. 5371, earlier this evening. Meanwhile, this is what I was talking about earlier. Meanwhile, House Republicans adjourned. They were like, we out without reconvening for new votes. Now, the OMB, Office of Management Budget, led by Director Russell Vought, sent a memo instructing agencies to execute their plans for an orderly shutdown. Now, that memo also directed federal employees to report to work only long enough to close out operations and process furloughs or perform their essential duties.
This cemetery in Asia, where they have a see-through casket, like it changes the way you see what life is and how precious life is. And you actually seeing the bones of your family members. When you die, they put you with your family. Y'all all end up together. It's freaky and weird and interesting and also very scary at the same time. I think it's dope. What y'all think about it?
I mean, I swear this shit get crazy and crazy every day, every year.
Y'all know why all of Chicago calls the West Side out West Illinois? It's because that's a whole different world out there. Ain't no telling what you gonna find in out West Illinois. I can actually tell you that it's a whole lot of supernaturals that's in out West Illinois. Like the man-eater. It's a whole cryptid that's out there sucking up the men. And not in a way that's enjoyable. Come on, my babies, it's story time. Boom, boom, it's story time. Boom, boom, paranormal Chicago activity with Cat G. There has always been some type of news around a serial in Chicago. But see, the thing is that, yes, there are serial killers in Chicago. However, a few of them are supernatural. One of them is a female entity. She comes out like 3 or 4 times a year. And in these 3 or 4 times, she always takes the soul of 3 different men. I had a little boo thing that lived on he lived by Laramie and Adam. One night, they had a house party, and it had got so late, and I was drunk, and his mama and his daddy was like, no, you're not going outside. It's too late. You can stay here for tonight. Okay, cool. No problem, because I'm too drunk anyway. I don't need to be getting on no public transportation the way that I am. So me and him sitting in his backyard, right? And we get to smoke. We hear something rustling in the bushes that's a little ways away from. Both of us instantly stop talking and we look over to the side. Whatever it was that was in the bushes stopped moving, shaking it off. You know what? It ain't nothing. It's probably just some little creature. Whatever. We get to talking again. Next thing you know, something is moving in the other bushes on the other side of the yard. Now see, here's the thing. Ain't no way for something to be in them bushes if they was just in these bushes over here and we didn't see it cross. One set of bushes is way over here on this fence. The other set of bushes is way across the yard on this side of the fence. Ain't no way something ran across the yard and we did not see it. There is no way for it to like run around the perimeter of the yard and we didn't see it. It's only 2 sets of bushes in this backyard, okay? I'm starting to get the willies. Like for real, for real. Goosebumps is forming, hairs is starting to stand. For a minute, we quiet, and then he snapped his head to me. He said, what you just said? I ain't say nothing. What you talking about? He said, if you want me, you ain't got to play these mind games. We could just go upstairs. Whoa. Where'd that just come from? He like, I just heard you say that you ready to get this over with and go to this bed. Absolutely not, sir. I didn't say that. He said, well, then you was thinking it. Absolutely not, sir. I wasn't thinking it. You want to know what I was thinking? I'm way too drunk and I'm smoking this. It's making the flow look like it is moving away from me, bitch. I feel like I am sitting on a goddamn pedestal, and if I make one move, I'ma fall and I'ma crash like Humpty Dumpty. Now here's something crazy. His mama got wind chimes. She got 5 different sets of wind chimes to be exact. It's only one wind chime that is going off, and it ain't no wind blowing. I look up when I tell you it's a blue wind chime. It's got a blue house, and it's got silver little dangly thingies to make the noise, and it's got pretty little blue flowers and crystals all through. I'm talking about it look like somebody is shaking this. His mama get to screaming his name. This not his real name. Y'all are weird, so I'ma just use him random. Antoine! Antoine! Get your ass in the house, Antoine! Hurry up! We think it's something wrong. We haul ass, go in the house, slam the door shut. We go find her, she in her little study room. She said, what I tell you about sitting out there this weekend? You're not supposed to be outside this weekend. You got to be in the house with all the doors and the windows closed. What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? Why he got to be in the house with the windows and the doors closed? I am now sober, bitch. Spill it. His daddy come around the corner from out the kitchen talking about some, yeah, the man eater gonna get your ass. You better stay your ass in the house. The man eater? Ho! Come and explain, old man. That man said once upon a time it was a clan of witches that used to run out west Illinois. And that clan of witches got done real dirty by a group of regular schmegular niggas. See, them regular schmegular niggas knew about the book of Enoch and how humans went and had babies with the supernaturals or the angels, whichever one you want to call. And they created demigod humans, right? So these regular schmegular men out west figured out that this group of women were covens, and they made it their business to infiltrate this coven, to like get with them, make them fall in love, make them give the men powers, and then they was just gonna do away with the women. Most of the coven wasn't going for it. They knew what was going on, except for this one witch. She decided that she was gonna give this man an actual trial because she actually had feelings for him. Like, she had grew up watching this boy. You know what I'm saying? This is like that girl who went to grammar school and high school with a boy and he never noticed her, and now all of a sudden they grown and he see her and he like, oh damn, I ain't never noticed you, girl, come here. And she's like, yes, I'm here now, bitch, come get me. She was riding her high horse, right? She said he finally picked me. Did not know that he was playing her ass. For a few weeks, everything was going good. He started coming over to her house, something that she don't normally do and something that she not supposed to do. She not supposed to really have nobody in her inner sanctum because we're not gonna get into that. A witch's home is a whole temple, and if you ain't the right spirit to go in a house, baby, you gonna get. But she let down her guards and her wards and let the man come in. Now she tell him, look, I'm a witch. This is what I do. You finna see some shit. You need to chill out. If you can't handle it, I'ma wipe you clean, and it's gonna be as if we never did. He go in the house, he freaked the out, but you know what? He on a mission. He want these powers, so he finna do whatever he can to get these powers. And what do he got to do? He got to woo her. And see, this is the problem with most men, because most of them really don't be liking that woman. They just like something that that woman can provide for them. So he put on his acting hat and he was the best boyfriend for 6 months. He waited 6 months because he found out that the full moon is when their powers are the strongest. And this is when she can grant him the powers that he want the best. Her coven members is trying to warn her, watch. Once the time come around, that man gonna pop up and all he gonna keep on asking for is powers. When can he get powers? How is it gonna work? Is she really gonna do it? Because that's all that man worried about. And sis was like, no, that's my man. He loves me. We ain't got to worry about none of that. Mind your business. But she should have listened. She should have. The closer they get to the full moon, the more he is like really in tune with her. He asking more questions. He's paying more attention. She decides, you know what? I'm finna call him out because now it's too much. Every time you talk to me, it's something about these powers. You wasn't never like this when we was first together. I don't understand why you like. So she hangs a bundle of herbs over a threshold of a door. As she walks through it, she tell him to walk. This is now a sanctum of truth telling. Whoever walks through this doorway with these herbs above it is now compelled to tell the truth. So she turned around, she said, let me ask you a question. Why you want to know about the full moon and the ritual so much? And it just come out his mouth like word vomit. Oh, duh, bitch, I want you to make me into a warlock. He slapped his hand over his mouth. She was like, right. So this whole entire time, you was just doing this shit so you could get powers up out of me? And he was like, yeah, because who really finna date a witch? You don't think everybody out here know what y'all do? Again, he slapped his hand over his mouth. He say, man, what the is going on? She pick up a bottle of some type of bluish green liquid. She throw it at his feet. She say a couple of words. She said, you bind it here. You ain't never leave. He look at her. He said, look, bitch, you on bullshit. I'm about this. turn around, walks to the door. He opens up the door and he tries to walk through it and runs into an invisible wall. Knocked him on his ass. She looked at him and she said, until a man do right by me, you will be trapped here for eternity. Being loved properly drove her mad. Every man that came out to her were bad men. None of them had good intentions for women. And she thought, why would I allow y'all to still walk this earth and tarnish other women like you did me? So now every full moon she goes out and she hunts for bad men. You know, a man from out west who used to do women super dirty, and then out of nowhere he just came up missing, like can't nobody find him, ain't nobody heard no word from him. Sis got
Go to RX. You can save
Oh, it is changing a different color.
$53 on flu treatments.
No, it's just a light, I think.
On cold medications, decongestants.
Shit is not right around here.
Have you noticed something strange? Travel across the US, and you'll see the same building again and again. State capitals from 1880 to 1910 all look cloned. Golden domes, Corinthian columns, marble stairs. Montana, Colorado, Kansas, Kentucky, Rhode Island. It's like someone handed America a template pack. And here's the part that feels off. Many of these states were financially weak post-Civil War. Schools and hospitals underfunded, but somehow Beaux-Arts capitals pop up everywhere. According to state records, many used local architects. Yet the designs match ancient European geometry too precisely to be coincidence. This wasn't style. This looks like standardization. When the story repeats across multiple states, it stops being a story and starts looking like a script. If America was truly building from scratch, why does it feel like it started at chapter 10? These buildings don't look like first attempts. They look like continuations, like someone picked up a pen mid-sentence. Maybe America didn't learn these skills. Maybe it remembered them. Or maybe whoever built the first generation of these structures is not the same group who wrote the history books. All I'm saying is, if a newborn nation builds like an ancient empire, the timeline deserves a second look. Because history shouldn't fear questions unless it has something to hide.
Come on, bro. We know why they hiding the truth. Because then they got to give up their way of life.
Check this out. On Ventura Boulevard, Woodland Hills, the cops are hiding in parking lots and hiring people to illegally walk across the street. And whoever passes them, like this guy in blue, whoever passes them gets a ticket. Just like this guy in white. That is illegal. Look at these two. And then whoever passes them, they get pulled over. Look at the cops. Y'all are f***ed up. That is crazy. They got you.
So the fog in the Central Valley, I'm right on the edge of it. That's Bakersfield down there. LA would be behind me, but it's kind of hard to tell on the video, but it looks like a solid wall. Like it looks like you could just walk across it. It's kind of crazy.
Why are the doors so tall? Normal people door? Giant door. Normal people door. Do you get what I'm saying? Can somebody please explain to me like I'm 5? Why are the doors so tall? Normal people doors? Insanely crazy doors. I'm 5'11" and this is a normal person size door, okay? Why are these doors so tall? And look at the entrance. Look at that. This place is insane. Where did they get all this in 1891? Built in 2 years, they say? I'm like the only one here, you guys. Look at this. There's nobody here. Make it make sense. Let's slap a Marvel poster and distract them from the actual magnificence of this building. Statues, columns. What even was this place? Because let me tell you, I don't think this was built originally to be a museum. What do you guys think?
It's too many of us starting to see shit for what it really is. They
I
didn't
love
build it.
conspiracy theories, so I want to talk about 3 of them that still don't make sense to me to this day. Starting at number 3, the story of Kanika Jenkins. I remember I heard of this instance for the first time on Shane Dawson's YouTube, and even then it didn't make sense to me, and still it doesn't. She was a 19-year-old girl who supposedly got drunk, and due to the medication she was taking, she just wandered in a freezer and died. There's CCTV footage of Kanika wandering, obviously drunk, throughout hallways or throughout whatever it was in the hotel. And we all know how strapped hotels are with cameras, but there's no video of her actually walking into the freezer. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, number 2, the Miami Mall. I still remember waking up being so confused, seeing the internet in a storm over what the hell was going on. Aliens, the end of the world, Stranger Things in real life, what is going on? When you see the pictures, when you see the videos of the amount of police strapped up and down to that street, you're telling me that was because of people fighting? And I mean, not to bring up another sore topic, but I have seen less police units at a... And to this day, there's no answers. There's none. There's no videos. I mean, you know how many people wander out and through malls every single day with their phones getting ready to record something? There's no videos. What is it? Number 1. Now, I say this for number 1 because it's kind of the goofiest, but it also makes sense. I wanted to end off a little more lighthearted. The Tide Pod Challenge. Now, I can't remember what year it was, but it doesn't make sense to me how this became so global. I get it. People are idiots. We're all dumb, and a lot of people like to follow trends. But I just don't see the fact that so many people would just randomly follow a trend of eating Tide Pods and almost dying. Now, I'm going to say that I supposedly, I am not confirming anything. I feel like this was a distraction from something bigger. The Kylie Jenner lip challenge. I don't know. I've seen a lot of trends that seem more based to a younger demographic like we were, and then some that just don't even make sense why people, especially younger people, would want to indulge. This is all alleged. This is all in here. It's just me thinking and overthinking certain things, so none of this is confirmed.
That thing would have had to go. I don't remember no Tide Pod Challenge. That's crazy.
And this is part 4 of things we've moved on way too quickly from. Y'all are getting a 2 for today. Britney Spears. God rest her soul. I miss the real Britney. I'll think about that forever. Everybody should think about that forever. And on the topic of celebrities, Anne Heche. I think that's how you pronounce her name, but her being in a body bag on the stretcher and then popping right out never sat well with me. This is more something you may not have known, but the fact that the government has had AI since the 1960s. No, that's not a conspiracy. That's real. They made breakthroughs with it in the 1980s, funding colleges like MIT to help DARPA. Yeah. One of the bigger ones, we just glanced over Putin being like, yeah, you feed your citizens Soylent Green and, people. Don't keep eating at McDonald's. The airplane lady. That person's not human. I believe her. That doesn't even look like the same woman, to be completely honest. And finally, a lot of us didn't, a lot of us did, just forgot about Melissa Hortman and her whole entire family. But I guess only one side gets to be in the news for something like that. R.I.P. Melissa Hortman, her husband, and their dog. Follow for more.
Somebody enlighten me on Melissa Hortman. I don't remember us taking that rabbit hole.
Hey, yo, take a look at this YN Diddy bopping up the street. But in the next 3 steps, he'll be shot in his chest with a .45 caliber pistol. His name is Keon Washington, 21 years old, out of Atlanta, Georgia. He befriended the 16-year-old daughter of a street hustler, knowing that the man had money in his house. When the man wasn't home, Keon and his friends came over to the house. The daughter let him in. Him and the daughter went in the room to do what they do while the friends ransacked the man's house. When Keon and his friends left the house, they left with $200,000 in cash, over 60 pounds of and the man's daughter's vagina. When the man came home and found out that the shit was missing, he immediately beat his daughter's ass and got Keon's number out of a phone. He used Snapchat to locate Keon, and it told him exactly where he was at. The girl's father pulled right up without a word and shot that young boy in his chest. Stop playing with these old dudes, man. Ain't nobody out here playing. These OGs ain't playing.
It's a guy on this app claiming that he got superpowers from spraying dog medicine on his hands. He has a video where he's making aluminum foil levitate with his hands. You ain't hear what I just said, right? This man has been spraying dog medicine on his hand for 767 days. The reason he said he was spraying this medicine on his hands was to make his hands stronger. But he acquired superpowers in the process of doing it. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. This is where he said he getting them superpowers from. And that sound nasty too.
Day 765.
Explain this.
Spraying dog medicine on my hands to make them tougher. I could now levitate aluminum foil.
A lot of y'all gonna say it's AI. Explain that. This dude has been spraying dog medicine on his hand for the past 2 years. And as you can see right there, the side effect makes him stronger. The side effects make things move. I had to jump down the rabbit hole. I look at other videos. This man is lighting matches with a fork. This man is showing electrical currents come off his fingers. And I know a lot of y'all not gonna believe. Okay, cool. Jump down the rabbit hole. You go see for yourself and let me know. I'm out.
You wanna know the first thing I noticed in the first 5 minutes of the Diddy documentary on Netflix? It wasn't what he was talking about, which was kind of crazy to begin with, but it wasn't that. It wasn't the fact that this was recorded and now it's out and he didn't think it would be out to the public. It was Diddy's chain. What shape was that chain? If you don't know, go check it out, bro. It's crazy.
They found grenades inside of Goodwill out there in Palatka, Florida. So they basically are putting them inside of the bins, and also they put it in the kids section. So everybody was evacuated, y'all. It just happened, y'all. It's crazy. That means if somebody would have pulled that pin inside of Goodwill, it would have exploded and killed everybody in that building. Y'all, I don't know what's happening to this world, man. I pray to God, man, that, you know, they find this person. I will update y'all. Make sure y'all follow me. Please follow me. And I'm gonna go over some more information. You hear it first here, man.
You know it wasn't one person. You know who it was?
In Palatka, Florida, they found a live grenade that had been put inside of a donation bin outside of the Goodwill. Talk about a bad donation. The place was completely shut down. You know, the squad was called and they set it off somewhere at a secure location where no one would get hurt. What kind of monster would do that? And you know, I was just thinking, like, I always ask why? You know, like, is it someone that hates poor people because poor people shop at the Goodwill? Maybe homeless people? I don't know. Could that be the reason? Why would someone put a live grenade in the donation bin at the Goodwill? Why would someone do that? What do y'all think? Okay, bye.
So nobody but me find it crazy that allegations about Talil essaying a girl came out right soon he did this at the Streamer Awards.
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this mic, now turn this shit off. Turn this shit off. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny. Have a good night.
Now, once again, I'm not saying he didn't essay the girl, and I'm not saying he did. All I'm saying is I find it crazy, suspicious that after he defended Kai, because like I said, that shit seemed like a humiliation ritual. They was probably like, they don't like that he defended Kai. All speculations though. What if they was like to the girl, go push up on Talil, make it seem like you want him, get him comfortable, and then, let one thing lead to another, and then come out with these allegations. We gotta show him who's boss. We gotta show him some act right. We gotta let him know that in these moments like this, you gotta learn how to act. That's just a thought. But like I said, who knows? Time will tell. Because SA is a crazy offense. So I'm hoping he wouldn't do that. Do I believe he did it? No. Do I put it past anybody? No. Does her story seem kind of off a little? Yeah, if you go listen to it. Maybe I'm confused on what essay is or like certain things, but if she said what happened to her happened and she didn't want it to happen, that would be the R word, right?
Let's pray it ain't the worst.
The more we dig, the more we find. Here we have an image of a diploma for the American Pacific Exposition and Oriental Fair for Portland, Oregon in 1905. So 1904, they have the St. Louis World's Fair. 1 year after, we get this one in Oregon. This diploma is very interesting. As we go down to the bottom, we have a photo, and we can clearly see in the background 2 airships, both looking different. They normally don't show this form of transportation in these photos. They normally blank out the sky. But as we look up all of these countries, we see the big ones, and then we see Caucasia. Have any of us heard of a country in the 1900s named Caucasia? I personally have never heard of Caucasia, which is similar to Tartaria. All of these countries that we were never told about. But this one wasn't hundreds of years ago. This was 1905. So they are now, in my opinion, lying and telling us that Caucasia, or Caucasus, is a region that has a bunch of countries in it, including Russia, which we all know have connections to Tartaria. But let's take a look at this list again from 1905. They are already listing Russia on this map with Turkey, France, Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Italy. All of these are countries. They are not regions. I'll say it again. These are countries. Why would they then throw a region in there randomly? That doesn't make any sense. I think we are finding, in my opinion, that there is more land that we aren't being told about that was here in the 1900s. And I think Caucasia is being hidden from us right now. Welcome to episode 48 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome. We were talking about Caucasia. Really quick, I want to just throw this in here. That there is another country that is clearly blurred out. I wonder if we weren't supposed to see that one. So we were given a photo with the airships in the background in the sky. So I went digging and found this photo from 1905, World's Fair in Oregon, showing more airships. And since I haven't really covered this topic yet on this channel, in my opinion, and a few others, this form of travel was all over the place. It wasn't just created in the 1800s, and the Hindenburg event was used as a scare tactic to make these airships look faulty, removing this free energy form of transportation technology out of our lives. Do you really think that they put a gas in these airships that would be so incredibly flammable and fly them over massive cities? Or does it make more sense that this Hindenburg event was a planned event to get rid of this free form of travel and wipe it from the history books? Here we have a photo of one of these airships sitting in between the 2 spires of the old world building. You can see that they use these spires to electrically charge these airships, and this was common knowledge. And in the very next photo, it's leaving the port. We are not given the truth about our history. This isn't something that we are ever told about in our mainstream schooling system all over the world. Do you find that odd? Let's keep digging. We see that the US Army had this technology in the 1800s, as well as the Navy. Now, this is a photo from July of 1931, and we clearly have an airship charging at the top of this building. So we have a lot going on here, and this was within the last 100 years. An airship charging at the top of this tower. Did you think they only charged at the top of buildings? Of course not. They had charging docks in the middle of the water. Here we have a photo of the US Navy airship in 1924, charging from this boat. Now let's zoom in on this charging station to get a good look at what's going on here. Now this is a technology that we were never told about. This is hidden from our timeline, a clear proof that there is much more to the story than what we've been told, especially since this was not thousands of years ago, and shows how easily history can be rewritten. This technology should be common knowledge at this point. Here we have another angle in Rhode Island of the charging taking place. These airships were not powered by gas or simply helium. And if we switch angles here, we can actually see the charging tool that was used right at the top of this tower. They're clearly about to connect to the airship. So this, in my opinion, is clearly explaining what's going on at the top of these old world buildings. They were charging stations for the airships. They have the same features, and I guarantee you that they still turn on, since this was not that long ago. And I'm going to take this time right now to answer a lot of people's question. Will we ever find the truth? As we keep uncovering more and more documented evidence, we're going to find that the previous civilization was not that far in the past, and our current structures hold so much more technology than we ever truly understood. So in my opinion, yes, we are going to find the truth about all of this. We are uncovering the truth faster and faster, and this community gets bigger and bigger, with more and more people sharing their thoughts and knowledge. The mainstream history is becoming comedy hour at this point. So we can clearly see that these buildings all around the world may have had a second purpose, but they were without a doubt here to generate free energy, specifically for airships. And once you realize this, then we can go deeper and ask the question, was the previous civilization capable of using these buildings to power their flight that were so much more powerful, so much faster, and so much more incredible than an airship? I believe that they fully understood this technology. They were the ones that constructed it. They had this technology and were able to travel through the air so much faster than we can today while using the Earth's natural energy. These buildings are technology. They are able to extract the energy and are able to turn it into a fuel. If you're looking for a why, a motive to suppress this technology, well, it would 100% benefit a civilization, us. It's free. There is zero benefit to free transportation, free energy. Do we need to go further for the why? So when you go around your town now and see the top of these buildings, we can all understand how popular this form of transportation really was. It was everywhere. Now we have talked about Tartaria. We have shown in this episode in the beginning how there are possibly more countries and more land, such as Caucasia. So we have Tartaria, but we also have Barbaria, where you would get the term barbarians. And of course, again, have any of us heard of a place called Barbaria in history class? Maybe you have now, but in mainstream history, this is not something that is taught to us. We're not being told the truth about any of this. And we have many maps of a land called Barbaria. And I believe that these maps are from the previous civilization. They are not presented to us in the mainstream history. So it's our job to go find them in places that are not easily accessible. And in order to find something, you have to know what you're looking for. Thankfully, we do. And then we have this map from the early 1800s showing a land that was to the east of Portugal that was named Barbaria, that is no longer there. It was south of France, west of Italy. So where did this land go? Also, this map shows that Barbaria had islands. And are these points on the map ley lines? What an incredible map to look at. Obviously, an event took place very recently, definitely proving that we've had land here that is no longer here. These maps are so detailed, yet these places are no longer here. And we have this group on the map who are most likely a depiction of the barbarians. Oh, and should I tie it back in with the airships? Can we just zoom in? Right above this disproportionate guy with the red and green on? What is above his head in the sky? That wouldn't be an airship, would it? You tell me. And if anyone can read that in whatever language it's written in, I'd love to know what it says in the comments below. Now, I emailed this company that I'm going to keep hidden, but with a little digging, we can all figure out who this is. But I emailed them, and they purchased the architecture firm Bradley & Bradley. Since they're an existing architecture firm, and it's not from thousands of years ago, they should have the construction photos of the National Guard Armory. But again, we are given another response that fits into what we're talking about here, that these are not the actual builders of these structures. If they built it, they would have at least one picture of construction somewhere in the world. But time and time again, as we have documented here so many times, they never have this on record. So they replied to me saying, "We acquired Bradley & Bradley, architects and engineers, in 2016, and I have not come across any construction photos from the National Guard Armory in their files." So they go on to say to contact the Rockford Public Library to see if they have it. And then 2 sentences later, saying that I believe this information is currently being held at the Hart Interim Library during construction of the new downtown library. So I'm going to be contacting them, and I'll keep you all updated on the situation as we continue on with it. If you're interested in hearing what we find, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Very interesting stuff. Yet another place that has zero confirmed documentation on these construction projects all over the world. It's very strange, and this is why we are looking into it. Exposing something that was hidden for far too long. And for a bonus today, I have a lot of things that I want to share that I have found in my research, and I don't want to just brush over them, but I do want to share them with you all. I found this photo from Portland, Maine, of the old City Hall. In their newspaper from 1888, they wrote that it was built in 1825 and was used in 1832. So this was going on like 200 years ago, and you can see what they're all riding around on. They were able to build these kind of structures so fast, apparently, that after 63 years, this thing was so outdated and needed to be demolished. And it's interesting because this exact story is given to us all over the USA. And in all honesty, it's all over the world. It's weird how we were told that they lived in sheds, yet could afford to knock down relatively new structures like this. Oh, and we are told that they built this thing with a population of like 8,000 people. Like I said before, anyone on a horse, a donkey, and anyone who had a wagon, a shovel, or a chisel was born with incredible architecture skills in the 1800s. It's incredible stuff. And I know some of you have mentioned this topic in the comments below. Well, here is a conveniently half-destroyed photo from the 1904 World's Fair. And if we just zoom in a little, you can see what this exhibit was. And here's the description we are given. Served as a fair attraction and a working hospital. This is normal for a fair attraction? These fairs have a much darker purpose than what we have been told. Just read that last sentence. They were brought from hospitals to the concessions. Well, they were brought from somewhere, and this is such a weird thing. Using common sense, how many mothers would allow their kid that is born early to leave the hospital to be, in their own words, an attraction at a fair? Let's use our brains a little now. These are not coming from the hospital, in my opinion. If you want me to get more into this, I will. But I think we get the point, that this was an operation to populate these cities again. And when did Ellis Island start taking immigrants? New Year's Day, 1892. Perfect time to start an operation. You don't find it odd that right around the exact same time period as these World's Fairs, you have these operations to refill the USA back up with a brand new batch of people. Now let's go back to the airships. Here's a photo from 1935, after they removed the airships from our timeline, and they were using the hangar for the airplanes now. And look at the size of this hangar, just to prove how massive these airships were in comparison. The amount of people that could have been on this airship were in the thousands. Here's a sketch of the interior of an airship, and you can see they were incredible. They had bedrooms, dining areas, all of the things that you would do if you were going to treat a society with respect, instead of our form of travel now, where we are all just jammed in next to each other and forced to suffer for hours. So I know this isn't a real photo, but honestly, who knows at this point what the previous civilization was capable of? What kind of things were in these airships that we aren't being told about? Water parks? Events? We know these airships were real. They were everywhere. And they were massive, and not a part of the narrative. They put the brakes on them really quick to trick our civilization into thinking that we're advancing into the airplane, when in reality, we had it made with the airship. Now, there are so many pictures of these vehicles all over the place, and they were definitely interesting to look at and wonder. So I want to make sure that I'm able to share these pictures here with everyone, so that you don't have to go on a scavenger hunt all over the place for them. And I want to make this point clear, if I haven't already. These airships predate the airplane. And they'll even admit it in the mainstream narrative that the airship was supposedly invented in 1852, which is a lie. It was long before this, and we know that here. And the airplane, as we've covered, was handed over to us in 1903. So 51 years later, rapid speeds, new technology just flying at us, literally. The problem with the 1852 date is that we have depictions of airships that predate the 1800s by civilizations. Knowing this information frees your mind. You are able to think for yourself. You are no longer trapped in the ridiculous mainstream society game that just goes around and around and drives people insane. You can step back and enjoy your life, knowing you are important. Your life is much more meaningful. This place that we all live was filled with great technology, a civilization, possibly no debt, possibly a place where everyone was able to take the time to enjoy their lives instead of working to struggle. Again, it's very important to know this, since we all live in this place, that 100% changes and forms through your thoughts, through all of our thoughts. And when you have a different level of knowledge, your thoughts change for the better.
It's very important to know that you are important, and your life is much more meaningful than you were ever made to believe from day one.
My question with Tartaria and Caucasia being taken off, right? What if Tartaria went to war with Caucasia and Caucasia won and they conquered the rest of the world? Just asking. And maybe they had a treaty and Tartarians already was here, and then they also trusted and they came back and took over. What if it's so many questions I got with that, but how y'all feel about the airships? Spam it up, man. Let me know.
What's up? Relax. Get upstairs, I'm not joking. What do you mean? I was down there with them. You can see that camera. There's like, I heard it twice. What? I kept laughing. Okay, relax. I literally looked back, I ignored it, then it happened again, and I got up and started freaking out. You can see that camera. Okay, relax. No, I just left them here at the store. No, there's a kid upstairs laughing. It's like I have to walk by it there. Oh my god, dude. Upstairs? Yes, the sound was just like a kid, like a high-pitched voice. Twice. You literally see me look at the thing twice. And I thought it was TV, but it wasn't. Why it's not here? Oh my, dude, I just rushed and left them there. Mommy.
She sound like she ain't making that shit up.
Okay, so I just found out there's a whole giant glass world hidden in the Arizona desert that most people don't even know about, and the ones that do barely ever talk about it. Did y'all know about this? This is called Biosphere 2 because supposedly the real Earth is Biosphere 1, and in the 80s there's a billionaire whose name was Ed Bass. He dumped about $150 to $200 million into this project that took about 4 years, that has a rainforest, an ocean, a desert, like the whole deal, pretty much a whole mimic of the real Earth. And they sent people to go live in there for 2 years sealed to see what it would be like to live in a whole new world. Y'all, they locked 8 people up in there for 2 years trying to see how humans could survive in a closed ecosystem like we need on Mars. And at first people thought this was this whole utopian sci-fi breakthrough, but then the oxygen started disappearing, the pollinators started to die out. Quite literally, the people were starving. There was not enough food. People started to break off into teams, barely talking to each other. It went crazy. The crops were failing and people started feeling like they were not being honest about what was going on because this was supposed to be sealed off, but they were supposedly getting oxygen from the outside. Then a lot of theorists started coming out saying that no, this was not failing. This was an experiment to see off-world living being funded by private money way before NASA or anybody else was interested in this. Not just that, there were other theorists who came out and said, no, this isn't even a science experiment at all. This is actually to see how people who are super rich would be able to survive in private bunkers and if they want to separate themselves from the general population. Whether or not any of that is true, something had to have gone down because halfway through the follow-up mission, outside management came through with armed security and shut the whole thing down. Till this day, people still argue as to what exactly happened. Wildest part of this whole thing is that Biosphere 2 is still very much there to this day. Right now it's owned by the University of Arizona and they study climate change as well as ecosystems,
and how the earth works instead of supposedly trying to replace it. But it makes you wonder, because in the 80s, how do y'all pour $200 million into this, come out with some information, and then just duck off, don't tell anybody else anything, and just shut the whole thing down? That lets me know that they either discovered something or something happened that they followed through elsewhere without disclosing it to the public. But that's just my personal opinion. I have no proof of that. Have y'all even ever heard of Biosphere 2? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you don't know what I'm talking about, save this video, go look into it, come back, let me know what you think. Per usual, this is all alleged. I'm just going based off what I see online, but I had never heard of this. And this just lets me know, when it comes to the west coast of the states, like whether it's Colorado, whether it's like Arizona, New Mexico, there's always something in those deserts. So I can only imagine what else we really don't know about. But I'm gonna get down to it. So make sure you like, follow, stay.
What is wrong with this man, bro? That is a demon.
Kenneth Copeland, you've seen the video before where the female news anchor corners him on the runway and she's asking him about the private jets and he gets in her face. He goes like this. Have you seen that one?
Is this the guy that he looks like a demon?
Yeah. And he says, I have to fly private, have demons in the tube with me. The story goes that Kenneth Copeland was flying over Texas and saw this runway next to this lake. And God gave him this vision that he was going to buy this whole parcel and turn it into a church. And back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, mailers were super popular. We have his mailer, and he promised to build 6 things: a radio station, a TV network, ministry facilities, Kingdom Park, an elderly community. Once you retire, you'll be able to retire on the church property, and in your rooms, they would pipe in Kenneth Copeland's TV network so you could watch Kenneth Copeland preach the gospel 24/7 a day, and then a hotel for guests to come and enjoy the lake. He sent that pitch out, raised tens of millions of dollars. He ever only built 3 of the things he promised to build. 1 was the radio station, 2 was the TV network, 3 was the ministry facilities.
That dude, man, damn.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
No one's ever seen this. This is his original presentation to raise money from the 70s.
I think he started with good intentions, but I think power and money went to his head.
We're at a gate here.
Oh, boy!
Kenneth Copeland is one of the darkest individuals I've ever come across.
Just off the property now.
Where's that badge, just by the way?
Off the property.
You
You want to see this? Off the property. Look, you're being flash your gun.
In that magnificent name, the name of Jesus, amen.
Kenneth Copeland. You might recognize him for his interview on Inside Edition.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
He's the guy that claimed to defeat COVID-19.
COVID-19!
COVID-19! He speaks in tongues. And he claims he will live to 120.
I will live and preach this gospel till I'm 120 years old.
And he's not joking. And would you know, folks, that Kenneth Copeland is America's richest pastor, with estimates of his net worth ranging wildly from $300 million to nearly $1 billion. And today, we're diving into a series of disturbing allegations concerning Copeland and his church, Eagle Mountain Ministries. Allegations like that he allegedly used church donations to build a private oil empire that rakes in millions. That he promised his donors a Christian retirement community, but instead, all that money allegedly went to things like this. So we flew to Dallas, Texas to infiltrate Kenneth Copeland's empire and expose the truth about his ministries. We teamed up with Nate of the Religion Business, who has dedicated the last few years of his life to exposing people like Kenneth. From standoffs on his private tarmac to uncovering his private hunting grounds, we show you the side of Kenneth Copeland that he has spent his entire life trying to conceal.
Shit crazy, bro.
Don't ever do it. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it! Absolutely stunning. Just delicious. It's so good. And he will be like Moses, and he'll live 120 years. And he said, yeah. Preach it, brother, preach it, brother, preach it. Just before the cross. And we have a healing covenant. Dwells in me, the pure, spotless blood of God. And Hesed was performed for me. He's my blood brother, and my father is my friend.
Yeah, that's crazy to even see that from that high up in a plane. But did any of y'all catch Kenneth Copeland's laugh, bro? Tell me that didn't sound right to you, or the way he talking. His voice didn't change. Did y'all see that one clip where he smiled at the camera? Did y'all see his face change from the eyes to the teeth? Maybe it's just me. Kenneth Copeland, that ain't no male. That's not a man. It's not a human. That's a damn reptilian demon something, bro. He ain't, nah. Do y'all remember that clip when he used his blood with the other preacher's blood, and they mixed each other's blood, I think, and then I think they drunk it out of the cup? Ain't that what they did, bro? And he's the richest one. That's wow. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. But y'all know you made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, Collective. Let me know how y'all felt about today's rollout. Again, don't forget to hype the video up. I'll be forgetting to let y'all know that. I appreciate y'all, and until I see everybody in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know